Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1523.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about home prices hitting a record high. Now, this might seem a little odd since the last podcast I did was about new home and mortgage demand dropping. But the reality is we're in a strong buyer's market right now, and there's a historic imbalance of sellers and buyers today. The median U.S. home sales price hit a record $396,500 for the last 4 weeks ending June 15th, which was up 1% over last year. And prices are at an all-time high, even though this spring's housing market is fairly cool because there's so many more homes on the market. And while the median sale price is at an all-time high, it's roughly $26,000 lower than the median asking price of $422,238. That's a 6% discount over the last several weeks, but marks a strong reversal from 2021 and 2022, when the median sale price was typically much higher than the median list price because the market favored sellers. Today, homes are selling for under asking price because there are so many more sellers than buyers. New listings of homes for sale are up 4.4% year over year, and total listings are up 14.5%. However, pending sales are down 1.5% year over year, and mortgage purchase applications are down 3% week over week. Of course, interest rates have been stubbornly high, which is causing part of this. The average rate on the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was steady in March, but then shot higher to over 7% in April. A big jump in the supply of homes for sale was likely behind the small gain in sales from April. There were 1.54 million units available at the end of May, an increase of over 20% from May of last year. At the current sales pace, that represents a 4.6-month supply of homes, which is still historically on the light side. And that's why there's pressure on prices. The median price of an existing home sold in May was $422,800, up 1.3% year over year. And that's a record high for the month of May. Demand is still strong relative to supply, and 28% of homes sold above list price, up from last month's 18% selling above list price, but down slightly from 30% in May of 2024. Lawrence Yun, National Association of Realtors chief economist, said the relatively subdued sales are largely due to persistently high mortgage rates. Lower interest rates will attract more buyers and sellers to the housing market. If mortgage rates decrease in the second half of this year, expect home sales across the country to increase due to strong income growth, healthy inventory, and a record high number of jobs. What's interesting is sales have been stronger on the higher end of the market since there's more supply there, but fell in the $1 million plus range compared with a year ago. The only price range where they rose was in the $750,000 to $1 million price range, which saw a relatively small increase of 1%. Lawrence Yun said the upper-end market is showing no difference compared to other price points. For the past 20 months, we've seen the upper end outperforming, but that is no longer the case. It's interesting to note that homes are taking longer to sell at 27 days versus 24 days a year ago, and just 30% of buyers were first-time buyers, down from 31% last year, which is still quite low, and 27% of all transactions were all cash, an increase from the year before. So a lot of this seems to be from sticky high interest rates. If we do see interest rates decline, which 71% of traders are now predicting a chance of interest rate cuts by September, that will start to propel prices higher again and definitely will propel more sales. The good news is it is a buyer's market, so there is more inventory and sellers are more open to negotiating prices. But prices still are up slightly this year, 1.3%, which means there's still not a lot of downward negotiation happening. But we'll continue to report back to you and see how that goes in the months ahead. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And all of my podcasts are on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more wealth tips for your financial freedom. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.